Greetings and welcome to the Halloween edition of the Sliders Review. And I'm here today to talk to you about Goosebumps, the girl who cried monster. Ugh, my neighbor's booming his music. I hope it doesn't get picked up on the audio. Anyways, this is one of my favorite Goosebumps episodes. It is so disturbing. It's so cool. The visuals, the makeup, the transformation sequence of like the monster, which is so cool on a low budget kid show. They couldn't go full CGI effects, but they was able to go as practical as they could and cut some corners and camera angles here and there to make it look pretty cool and convincing. Seriously, Marvel, why can't you do that with Werewolf by what was it? Werewolf by Night and She-Hulk. Like that was some of like the lamest like transformation sequences I've ever seen, and y'all got more money than Fox Kids and Goosebumps. But anyway, I digress. This episode is on like one of my top 5 if I had to like do it, you know what I'm saying, or top 10 or whatever. And when it comes to the cast, my God, Mr. Morton, that dude and his voice, like, wow. But when it comes to that of Lucy, she's one of those Goosebump actresses that people, fans of the show, are clamoring to know what the world is she up to now? What does she look like now? Because Goosebumps was the only thing she ever did, but fans love her to death. And a couple of years back, I was able to find something she did. It was like a short film on YouTube. She doesn't say anything, I don't think. But the thing is kind of like a Def Jam poetry type thing where she's on like a subway train or something like that. And she's just sitting there. And she looks absolutely the same, just like older. I can't find that video now. Just like go to YouTube and search for the actress's like real name. Maybe you'll find it or not. I don't know. But it was just cool to see what she looks like, you know, a few years back and everything. This is probably back in 2015 or something like that. I don't know when, or 2010. I'm not exactly sure when I found this video. But anyways, the girl who cried monster. What do you do when there's a little girl who's always talking about monsters, always scaring people? If that is Lucy. She is one of those classic R.L. Stein characters where it's like a brother-sister duo and one of them's constantly scaring the other. And she is constantly scaring her little brother Randy. She loves to scare that boy. So just like the monologue says, that's why when she saw a real one, nobody believed her and stuff. So this is why this is the type of moral lesson I like, you know, in kids' heart. Don't lie because nobody's gonna believe you. And this modern day stuff, I don't like none of this moral lesson crap and self-development, like emotional stories and long-winded speeches that they have and stuff. It's just terrible. Anyway, so after she scares the piss out of her brother and everything by saying there's some type of toe raiser or toe biter thing and like the bushes as they're both barefooted, of course he runs screaming into the house and the parents are like telling her like, you stop making fun of your brother and blah blah blah, stuff like that. But she loves to scare people and stuff. She loves monsters. Well, she's at the library and Mr. Morton is the librarian and she's there with her friend Aaron. And so he's disappointed she didn't like the book Black Beauty. It's a classic. Mr. Morton is an old school type of man. He loves to read. He wears these tacky, terrible sweaters and everything and little bow ties. And he feels that kids should read more and watch less TV and play less video games. And so like she doesn't like Black Beauty because it didn't have a monster in it. And so he tells her go pick like another book and everything, right? So she picks Frankenstein. And he's all like, well, you're not going to like that because it's another classic. But she's like, yeah, but this one got a monster. So her and Aaron, they leave. Now, in the books, Aaron has more to do. If this was probably a longer episode, maybe, hopefully, they would have gave him more to do. But sadly, they don't. He's just a side character. So as they're walking, she realizes she left her rollerblades behind. Ah, rollerblades. I miss those. Boy, that took the 90s by storm. And so he heads home and she goes back into the library. But as she's going to get her blades, something weird happens. She overhears Mr. Morton singing to himself. He's humming a song. And like a little smart mouth, like teenager, she's all like, ugh, I bet that's a classic too. But then she's spying on him and he's talking to his pet tarantula and he starts to feed it crickets. Now, in the book, he feeds it flies. But then all of a sudden, something weird happens. The way he talks to his tarantula is disturbing. The things he does with his mouth, like stuff like that, and all kind of other crap, it's just creepy. So he reaches his hands into the thing of crickets. And these are real crickets, by the way. So they're really on his hand. There's some that's probably fake, but the ones on the outside are about as real as you can get twitching around. It ain't his hand twitching, it's the real bugs. And then all of a sudden, he chews some of them. And you see some of them dangling from his mouth. I don't know if those are the fake ones. I don't know if those are the real ones. If they're the real ones, ew. That's just nasty. That's just nasty. Anyways, so she's creeped out by this because he's a man's eating bugs and stuff. But then at the moment he eats bugs, he transforms into a monster. And the design is amazing with bugged out eyes. And the eyes are bugging out practically. They went to town on that practical effects. And so, like, then he starts eating more bugs and everything, and he has razor sharp teeth. And so she leaves on out of there. And so like she tells her friend Aaron that, the dude was eating bugs and he turned into a monster. And she tells like her family, and her family doesn't believe her. Her friend doesn't believe her. Of course, Randy does. And so it really pisses her off, her parents won't believe her. And it's funny, this is just a phase you're going through. And this is the line that so many fans love. She's all like, life is a phase I'm going through. It's just the way she says it. It's just so awesome. And so, like, she's telling Aaron on the phone, nobody believes her, but she's going to get proof. And she's going to take his picture and stuff. And so she heads back there the next day and and her and Mr. Morton, they're talking. Now, Mr. Morton has a very somber, soft-spoken voice and everything. So it's very shocking that he will be a monster that's eating bugs and stuff. So, they're talking and everything. She's trying to get him to like confess, but like he won't. And so she pretends to leave, but then she's hiding out. And once again, he's doing it again with the crickets. And this time he picks up the tarantula itself. And he eats the tarantula and it's sticking out his mouth. The fake tarantula looks as real as the real thing. And you see the legs sticking out and like all kind of stuff. It's disgusting. Well, she takes a picture. He overhears the flash. He knows who it is by sniffing her. So he starts to walk towards like where she's at in the dark, and he tries to grab her. She's able to crawl beneath his legs, and she runs out the library with her camera, and she's running literally for her life. Like, this is some dark mess. She heads back home and she tells Aaron, I got the picture and everything, now I just gotta develop it. And he's all like, the dude has your address on your library card, so he's probably headed to your house right now. Then here comes the doorbell. And who is it? Mr. Morton. He's all like, I got your book bag. You left it and everything. She locks the screen door as she's talking to him. And he's all like, are your parents home? Boy, the ghost look on her face. She's all like, no, they'll be back. Oh, no, wait, they're in the house. Oh, no, wait, Mom, is Dad still cleaning his rifle? Oh, that line is so good. They reused it for R.L. Stein's The Haunting Hour. Oh, when fear never knocks. Oh, so anyway, he leaves the book bag there, and he's all like, "I'll be seeing you soon." So then the next scene, we see her and her brother coming out of like the picture place to get her pictures developed. Because yes, back in the '90s, we didn't have digital cameras; we had to get them developed and everything. And film, old school film. So anyway, she thinks she now has her proof. Randy, being a butthead, knocks the pictures over, and there's Mr. Morton. Well, her family, when she told them that he came to the house and everything, they're all like, "Oh, he just delivered your book back. How nice of him," because he lives on the other side of town. And so they ask him, what is he doing and all this other stuff. He's all like, "Oh, blah, 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 this and that." And they thank him for giving, Lucy back like her book bag. He's all like, "Oh, no problem. It was on my way and everything," which they know can't be true because he lives on the other side of town. And the dad gives the mom a weird look, but they invite him over for dinner. Lucy does not like this idea. Anyway, she's looking at the pictures and there's no picture of the monster. And she said, "Ha, this proves it. He's invisible to like pictures and reflections and crap." The parents still aren't buying this as they're making their meatballs and stuff. But anyway, in comes Morton. And he can't wait to eat like, some meatballs and all this other crap. And so like Lucy and Randy, they're terrified of the dude. And, he eats a meatball and thinks it's scrumptious and everything. And he's asked, "What's for dessert?" And the parents are all like, "You." I was like, what the heck? I'm like, what the crap is going on? Then the parents start having fangs come out their teeth. I'm just like, no. Classic R.L. Stein. I did not see this coming. The parents are monsters and crap. But this is the part that gets kind of lame. They didn't have that much money for practical effects or transformation. They transformed it like, and they moving slowly towards the camera. It's all this flickering of light. Morton looks terrified. Sometimes the teeth looks like fangs from like a snake. Then you'll see the parents and the fangs, and they'll go to another shot, and it's like they have scales on their face. Then another shot, they look like snake people. It's a terrifying. It's a terrible, terrible sequence because it's not properly filmed. That's my only complaint about this episode. And we're supposed to believe they ate him, and it doesn't even look like they ate him. And they ate everything, even his clothes. There's no blood, there's no nothing. And so it's a weird sequence, and that's my only downfall of this episode. So the kids are looking very shocked and surprised as the parents are wiping their chins and everything. And they all like, "You must never tell nobody that we are monsters." And Lucy's all like, "Oh, we know that." But see, in the book, they had no idea that their parents are monsters, and they're excited that they're going to turn to monsters when they get older. But in the show, they already knew that. And the parents tell them, "You're going to get your fangs when you get older and stuff." And they're all like, the reason why they didn't believe Lucy is because, they ain't seen a monster in over 20 years. And, so they was very shocked because people can't find out they're monsters because they will be hunted down and stuff. Well, then next thing you know, Lucy sees a monster in the mirror. And the parents all like, "All right, bad, get those fangs out." But then it turns out to be Aaron with the mask. He just wanted to scare them. And so they quickly put away their fangs, and he asks, "Hey, since you ate dinner, what's for dessert?" And the dad's like, "You." Lucy looks at her dad like, "No." That's her friend. And he's all like, "You like cherry pies?" And he holds up a pie. Oh, that was a great like ending to it and stuff. I think the ending was tacked on for the show, but never in the book. Seriously, this episode was classic R.L. Stein. It had you on the heels of like your feet. It had you like on your little tippy toes. It made you wonder what was going to happen next. And a classic twist at the end. That wasn't that spooky. Alright, well, I shall talk to y'all later. Bye.